Yeah, I think there's a queue. There's myself and Carbayel, but he's probably next in line after us, you know. He looked good tonight, very explosive. And
hey, this is a young kid, 20 years old, with devastating knockout power, bro. This have Mike Tyson type of energy all over.
He's about one punch away from getting hurt. So big respect to Atama. I mean, he knew that he can get him out and he got him out straight away. I mean, I think no one expected it to finish that quick. Speed kills, as you know. Speed kills.
Stop. You won't believe this. A 19-year-old just destroyed Dillian Whyte in the first round. Even legends are calling him the next Mike Tyson. This is the fight everyone will be talking about for years. The boxing world is buzzing after Moses Atama's explosive first-round knockout of Dillian Whyte. Antonio Tarver praised the young heavyweight, saying Atama has power and style that remind him of a young Mike Tyson. Many believe this win proves Atama is the next big star, ready to dominate the heavyweight division.
He's going to give these tough guys, he's going to give these veterans a hell of a time, bro. He's poised, he's patient, and he got that knockout power. He know how to set it up. It's going to be a nightmare to get rid of this guy, man.
There's been so much talk of Moses Atama. His talent, we've said how talented he really is. Now he's doing on the big stage, the main event. That's another level now, isn't it?
Well, we know Dillian Whyte came in here being knocked out a couple times. Wanted to see could he land a punch on this young kid, but he didn't have a chance tonight. He got mowed over, and this is a big win for a young guy. But he got to continue to fight credible opponents, and he got to get tested. He got to fight a young fighter like himself and beat a credible opponent like that. Not these old, washed-up fighters that he can only just look good against. He got to get tested, too, to see if he's the real deal.
Now talk to me about Dillian. Obviously, we can see the work that you put in. Such a brilliant servant to the sport, isn't he?
Say it again, I'm sorry.
But Dillian, we can see the work that you put in this camp. Such a brilliant servant to the sport. If this is the end, how good has Dillian Whyte been?
You know what? Dillian Whyte has been a staple in the heavyweight division. I think it's time for him to hang it up. He can only get hurt a lot worse than he did tonight. You know, fortunately, you know, he didn't get seriously injured, KO'd and knocked out unconscious. You know, he'll be able to take this loss and I think enjoy the rest of his retirement.
Definitely. Just before I let you go, Moses Atama, is it time to see him in there with Alexander Usyk, or do you still think that might be too soon?
It's too soon for Usyk, bro. He got to earn his title shot. He got to be the real contender. He beat a washed-up has-been tonight.
Trainer Ben Davidson reacted with respect. He said it was special just to see a British legend like Dillian Whyte step back into the ring, no matter the result. But he also admitted Atama's performance felt like a passing of the torch to the new generation.
For the opportunity, British boxing legend. So yeah, really pleased.
We spoke about this before in the week, and let's not kind of cut over the fact that Dillian Whyte has been in with everyone.
100%.
And this was a gamble from your side.
Yeah.
From the second class between, say, a Dempsey McKean to someone like a Dillian Whyte. And that was a gamble. You took the gamble and it's paid off, but shouldn't start saying, oh, Whyte was whatever now, because we didn't know what was going to happen tonight.
No, I think it's extremely disrespectful to have that approach. Like I say, nothing but respect with Dillian. Really appreciate him giving us the opportunity. And yeah, I think, you know, Moses deserves all the credit that he should be getting.
Did you expect it to come that early?
No, I didn't, being honest. I know that he's always capable. He's a very difficult heavyweight to be in there with, very difficult to defend against. He hits hard enough where he's hitting with shots that you don't see, and hits hard enough to put you away with those. So I know that it can come at any moment, but yeah, he saw the opportunity, picked up on something that he'd worked on. Big shout out to Lee Wiley as well, puts a lot of time in, a lot of effort in, and fantastic in putting together a scouting report and picking up on Dillian's tendencies for us to go away and put together some drills and rep that with Moses, and yeah, it all paid off. Everyone's work paid off.
Even Tyson Fury gave Atama his respect. That's the future of boxing. I've been saying it for years, coming from the heavyweight champion. That's powerful. Promoter Frank Warren also called it brutal, fast, and decisive, exactly what fans want from a rising star.
Certainly don't, and there weren't any overtime. It was an unbelievable, ruthless, short performance. Caught it with good shots and done an absolute job.
Did you expect that?
No. I fancied him to win. I thought he'd stop him, but I didn't think it'd be like that.
Frank Hrgovic next.
Don't know yet. We'll see what happens. No rush today. We've got a load of options, and we'll consider what we're going to do.
How do you match this guy now?
We'll match him.
But, no one's giving him rounds.
Frank Warren later tweeted, "Moses Atama is the real deal. We just witnessed something special." Analysts said Atama's age makes the win even more impressive. At only 19, he has the time, talent, and fearlessness to dominate for years. Many believe the next 2 to 3 years could define his legacy.
Was clearly done, and we'll get to whether or not Dillian Whyte is done. So there are going to be some that say, look, okay, what's Dillian Whyte done in the last couple of years? And these things are true, and I spoke about those things as well, but I don't want to change what the narrative was, what the narrative has been in the last couple of days. With everyone seeing the way Dillian Whyte looked and the way Dillian Whyte was speaking, I think a lot of people are like, well, 1 second, something might happen here. Let's remember that, because something did happen. Moses Atama was just a steam train. Honestly, this guy, for 20 years of age, 20. Remember all these heavyweights that you're seeing right now that are in their peak, are in their mid to late 30s, and most of them became world level operators in their mid to late 20s. He's doing it as a baby. This guy is 20 years and 7 months. And, I've been around Andy Lee for the last couple of days, and it's been so good being around Andy, because Andy has told me stories of watching Moses spar Joseph Parker. And even Andy's been waxing lyrical about him. And he doesn't have to, right? This is off camera, this isn't on camera, these are private conversations. And he's like, this dude is good. Because there's been a lot of talk about if this was to go and turn into a dogfight, maybe Dillian Whyte would have the advantage. And I think I said this as well, to be fair. And Andy kind of shut that down straight away, said no. I've seen this guy in a dogfight. So maybe he's talking about the spars with Joseph Parker. But I'm just so excited about what this kid can be in the next 2 or 3 years. I am. I like the way the Americans are talking about him, because it's so hard for Brits to kind of get the thumbs up from American fight fans, American fighters.
Dave Caldwell described the knockout in one word: devastating. He praised Atama's speed and intensity, saying he's not just powerful, but also exciting to watch. Fighter fans will pay to see again and again.
Devastating, stunning, spectacular. You can throw all the words you want at it. It was brutal, and this is what I feared going in. I'm a bit, when fighters give their all to the career, and you watch them throughout the years having wars and giving everything, like Dillian Whyte against Chisora. You saw the action with the AJ fight. You look at him throughout all his career. He always goes out there, gives everything, has a tear up. He's exciting. He's a big character, big personality. And then when they get to a stage of the career where you feel as though it's that fight where they're gonna be, where it's kind of like it's way too much for him, and it's gonna be, quite a nasty ending for him, a nasty ending to a career. I was worried for Dillian going into that this would be that fight, and it was. That was that. It don't get as it can't be any worse than that to punctuate a career, to end a career.
Before we talk about what's potentially next for Dillian, let's talk about Moses. It's hard because we almost want to, feel like we want to learn a bit more about him. No, genuinely. Yeah. I wanted at least to see about 4 or 5 rounds, and maybe I don't want to necessarily say, "Oh, get clipped with a few," because if you can move out the way, great.
You want questions asked, don't you?
I want to see, if you get dragged into the trenches a little bit, where can we go here? But you don't ever get that far. So is that, I suppose, maybe the only thing you go, I thought we'd have seen a bit more of him.
Yeah, that's what you want to tick boxes as a fan, as somebody who's trying to see how far this kid can go. When we get something spectacular, you want to see him have questions put in front of him and see, like you say, can they go a few rounds? What happens? Yeah, because there's still those unanswered questions that we've got. Can he carry it on throughout the later rounds? Can his feet stay sharp? Can he, does he retain that sharpness, past 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rounds?
Experts made it clear. Whyte wasn't out of shape. He came prepared with all his experience. That makes Atama's victory even more impressive. Beating a seasoned veteran so convincingly showed that Atama already has the mindset and power of a champion.
Shape. He was a bigger step up than Moses Atama had ever faced in his career. Remind you guys, the kid only has now 13 fights. And this was supposed to be somewhat of a test for Moses Atama. This is supposed to tell us where he was in the pantheon of heavyweight and what you can do with him next. If he is going to struggle with guys like Dillian Whyte, you can't fast track him to a world title. If he goes out and does what he did, which is absolutely beat the brakes off Dillian Whyte, demolish him, and make it look like they should have never been in the ring together, then you have to fast track him to a world title. You have to have him fighting the best in the world. Whether it's Parker or Cabiel, whoever's not fighting Usyk next, whether it's a returning Anthony Joshua, we'll talk about that in a second, whether it's a Tyson Fury, no one's probably going to want to take that risk right now because of their legacies, because of what's set in stone. So you're probably going to have to give him some younger, hungry heavyweights, like I said, a Parker or a Cabiel. But I'm telling you right now, it is not a matter of if, but when that kid gets to a world title, because, dog, he's out here making this look easy. He is playing heavyweight boxing on easy mode right now. And it's not because he's boosting the sliders. It's because the competition just is not there for him. They tried to give him a step up with Dillian Whyte, and he made it look like a walk in the park. Let's talk about the fight. They both walked out. By the way, Styles P on the walkout for Moses Atama, him as the voiceover saying, the future isn't coming, the future is here, the future is now. That's some big fucking balls. I'm talking 2 grapefruits hanging in your shorts to walk out to your own voiceover.
After the fight, Atama stayed humble. He said he's been boxing since the age of 9, and his goal has never been fame. It's about becoming a great fighter. Fans loved his authenticity and focus on legacy over celebrity.
Online shopping, something like that. I've never been a person to focus on that. My goal was never to be a superstar or to sell out Wembley, or that's never been on my agenda. Me personally, I've been boxing since I was 9 years old. It's just something that I do. If I don't box, I feel out of place. I don't feel comfortable in myself. So I'm chasing that thing that I've always had as a little kid, and that's just to be a fighter, and everything else kind of falls into place, doesn't it?
Any members comes out, question for Moses. You referenced in the pre-fight build-up that you felt that Whyte was as per the rules. Sorry.
Boxing writer Ron Goodall said Atama proved himself on the big stage using smart feints and composure under pressure. Most experts thought Whyte's experience would give him problems, but instead, Atama shocked everyone by ending it early. That quick, dominant finish showed he's not just a prospect, he's a dangerous force in the heavyweight division.
We've got something here. Maybe we can, maybe he can go a couple of rounds. Not saying he's going to win, but maybe he can go a couple of rounds and, pull something out. Maybe just be competitive. We've questions of Atama that we need asked. Maybe Dillian Whyte is the guy to ask them. All right? And that's what we're thinking. Maybe, right? So, he had the fight week. And Dillian Whyte is very much in a, it's the Atama show, and being very respectful to Atama. Now, some people were saying maybe that's Dillian Whyte trying to play mind games with Atama, lull him into a false sense of security. Others were saying maybe it's him checked out. Again, I was kind of like, nah, it's probably him just playing the mind games. He'll probably get taken out, but Atama will go rounds. Dillian Whyte weighs in. Career lightest, or no, sorry, not career lightest, but lightest he's been in a decade. And I spoke to a few people in Saudi who were there today and said that they think the scales were a little bit off and that he actually could have been lighter, right? Believe it or not. So everyone was buzzing for this. Now, I did say, I think yesterday in the video I did, that maybe Dillian Whyte, could he have taken the weight off too soon? Could he be a little bit weak? Who knows, right? But either way, we go to the fight tonight. They're both in the ring. Dillian Whyte looks on it. And here we go. It's fight night. Now, from the get-go, the speed was a problem for Dillian Whyte. Atama was just too fast. You could see it. That hand speed, like that. It was just phenomenal. And you're just like, oh God. For me, you could see the writing was on the wall.